According to indications, Cain and Abel of the Old Testament book of Genesis are the descendants of Anunnaki. We know that they were the first two sons of Adam and Eve. Cain and Abel are descendants of Anunnaki according to indications. According to Sasha Lesson of the first brothers of creation, Cain and Abel are children of Anunnaki from the planet Nibiru. Through facts that come from texts, as he quotes, he presents us with a story shortly before their birth, but also long after their birth. Many coincide with what we know from the Old Testament. About 200,000 years ago in Africa, Enki from the planet Nibiru, a leading scientist in the field of gold mining on Earth, fertilized two girls derived from hybrids designed with a few genes from Homo erectus to adapt them to Homo sapiens' genome from Nibiru in order to create slaves on Earth, according to the Sumerian legends. One of the girls gave birth to a boy, Adarpa, and the other girl, Titi. Enki kept his paternity secret, and Enki's wife, Damkina, taught Titi all kinds of crafts. And at Adapa, Enki taught him how to preserve the files he had for guidance. Enki boasted, "I brought a civilized man to the fore. A new kind of earthly from my own seed has been created in my image and in my likeness. From the seed they will grow, sheep will shepherd, Anunnaki and earthlings. From now on, they will have to be full," according to Enki. Now, Adapa and Tiki, Enki's son and daughter, mated. Tiki gave birth to twins, Cain or Cain, and Abel. The first Adapite people from Adapa and Titi, people with far more genes from Nibiru, thanks to Enki's genetic injection, than the Homo erectus genes from their mothers, the girls with whom Enki had relations. Enki, albeit illegal son, Adapa, he ordered Adapa to teach their descendants the terrestrial Nibiruan enhanced genetic material to manage farms, herds, estates, and less fortified terrestrials. Enki, quote, Enki brought earthlings from Africa to Sumeria for Adapa to train them in the mission of the boss, end quote. Enki's heir, Marduk, bypassed his son Adapa, Abel, that is, and taught him about the goats and sheep he brought from the planet Nibiru. To confront Marduk and Cain, Commander Enlil and had Ninurta's son teach Abel how to grow fortified grain he also brought from Nibiru. Commander Enlil ordered that only his own people and not Enki's would manage the cultivation of the land. So Ninurta taught Cain and Marduk taught Abel. At the feast of the first, Cain offered the first grains. Abel showed Enlil and Enki the first lambs. Enki praised Abel's lambs for their meat and wool, but said nothing about Cain's grains. According to Enki 183 to 184, in the absence of Enki's blessing, Cain largely felt wronged. The twins fought for an entire winter. Did they disagree on what yielded the most? The grains and canals full of Cain's fish, or the meat and wool of Abel's sheep? In the summer, when Abel's meadows and pastures dried up and shrank, Abel led his flock to the Cain ditches and canals to drink, but with that Cain got angry. The twins fought with their fists until Cain did away with Abel with a stone and then sat down and broke down in tears. That offspring of Cain multiplied. Enki took Cain to Eridu to be tried by Enlil, Ninki, Ninurta, and Nanyar on Enlil's side, and by Ninma, Enki, Damkina, and Marduk on Enki's side. Marduk, Abel's mentor, told them to do away with Cain, but Enki revealed that he was Cain's grandfather, So Cain was a relative of Marduk. Enki said, Cain will have to live to breed higher earthlings to work in pastures and mines. If Cain is exterminated, food supplies will gradually disappear and riots will eventually follow, according to Enki, what he said. The seven ruled, quote, to the east in a land of wandering they must depart for the evil done by Cain. Cain and his generations will stand out. Beards will not be able to grow on his face, unquote. There are certain people of the Western Hemisphere, North America, that cannot grow beards. Now, Cain, with his sister Awan as husband, left Eden, or Eden. They wandered in the desert to the east, according to Enki 186 to 187. The king of Nibiru, Anu, as Enki had asked him, refused to activate the longevity genes which all Nibiruans have. In Adapa, Cain's father, nevertheless, Adapa lived for hundreds of years. Shortly before he died, Ninurta took Cain back to see his father in Eden. Quote, Adapa's eyesight had dropped considerably, so in an attempt to recognize his child, he touched his face and realized he had no beard, end quote. Adapa said to Cain, quote, for your sin, you are deprived of your ancestral right, but from your seed 7 nations will come. In a secluded place they will thrive, distant lands will inhabit, but because you killed your brother with a stone, it will be your end. Ninurta returned Cain to the deserts east of Eden, where he gave birth to sons and daughters. For them a city was built, and as he was building it, a falling stone killed Cain, but Ninurta may have killed Cain, end quote, according to the Sumerian verses. Quote, Cain's survivors planted, founded, and ruled the city of Nud, also called Dun or Dunu and Nudun. The sons of Cain's successors for the next 4 generations killed their fathers, and for the next 3, every Nud ruler killed his parents, married his sister, ruled. One of Cain's very distant grandchildren is Enoch, who succeeded him 4 generations later. Enoch married his sisters Ada and Zillah. Ada's first son, Jabal, lived in tents and grazed cattle. Her second son, Jubal, played the lyre and flute. Enoch's wife, Zillah, gave birth to Tubal-Cain, a gold, copper, and iron craftsman. The descendants of Adapa and Titi and their dispersal. Titi had 30 sons and daughters with her brother Adapa. The Nibirians dispersed them and taught them how to write, mathematics, digging wells, making oils and potions, playing the harp and the flute. Namar gave them ceremonies for himself and other Nibirians in order to worship them as gods. Enki taught astronomy to one of his descendants, Enkime, and Marduk put Enkime on a rocket and launched it to the moon and Mars, and then led it to spacecraft in Shipar to oversee Earthlings from the Shamash. And I'll leave the link below for you for this. At the end of the article is a huge amount of bibliography for those who want and can search a little bit more. And I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.